Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am doing another welcome aboard. I think we just started. I'm doing Ask Me Anything. It is Tuesday the 26th of April 2022, and this is my weekly live Ask Me Anything. Welcome aboard if you happen to be out there. I already see there's a couple people out there, a couple of just been going 30 seconds. A couple of people are joining us. So thanks so much for being here. And we are live here on YouTube. I'm also simulcasting to a couple of other social channels, Facebook, LinkedIn. You are welcome to ask me anything on any of those channels. I've got all of the chats up and open, and I'm here to answer any questions that you might have. I'll hang out until we don't have any more questions for today. For those of you who don't know, might be joining for the very first time, my name's Chris Prouty. For the last 21 years, I have been helping entrepreneurs wildly grow their businesses by attracting clients through the internet. And that was initially through search engine optimization and websites, and then it moved to social media. I was able to help thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs grow their businesses through social media and through internet and through the internet and through search. So that's what we're here today. If you are new to my trainings, now would be a genius time to go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on the bell for notifications so that you receive an alert every single time I create a video or go live to share information with you about how to grow your business. This is especially true if you're an entrepreneur and you are looking to get more clients online. So got my computer here, got my camera here, microphone right here. I think, coffee right here, of course. Let's roll. First question has come in, and that question is from Tammy. And Tammy's asking about LinkedIn articles. And the very specific question is, are the newsletter the same as an article? So I think, Tammy, what Tammy's asking is a LinkedIn newsletter the same as an article? So let's just jump back and let's talk about newsletters and articles on LinkedIn just for a second. So in LinkedIn, you have the option when you go to create content, you have the option of creating a post, uploading a video, or writing an article. So let's start with articles on LinkedIn. An article on LinkedIn is another form of content that you can create on the platform. One of the things that I like about articles is they tend to stay on the platform a lot longer than a post. A post is going to whiz by in people's news feeds. They may see it, they might not. They might stop and look and click on it and read more, or they might not. Where an article is going to live for a long time on the platform. Now, there are differences in the kind of content that you want to create for posts and for articles. Posts are generally going to be very short, very quick, very impactful pieces of information that you want to share, an update or some sort of an event that's happening. These are the kind of things that you want to put in posts, the stuff that doesn't have a very long shelf life. An article, however, is more like a blog post, something that is going to have lasting, staying power. So your articles that you write are going to be longer. They're going to have images, multiple images. They might have embedded video. They might have links that go somewhere else other than the article or outside of the article. So, and I really do want to drive this point home because it's super important for you as the entrepreneur to understand that if you're using LinkedIn articles, you're creating blog content. And so the question that you might have, Tammy and others, as you're thinking about this is, should I just take what I write on my blog and copy and paste it into an article on LinkedIn? And while you certainly could do that, I don't think I could advise that you should, because LinkedIn articles, and listen, this is super important, LinkedIn articles are indexed by the Google search engine. So when you write an article on LinkedIn, the Google search engine, or Google's algorithm, if you want to talk about the algorithm, I know I don't, Google is going to index that article. So if you write a really well-crafted article inside of LinkedIn, and you have a great title and great content, and it gives people, it educates them in a unique and entertaining way, you're going to show up high in the search rankings. Your article on LinkedIn is going to show up in the search rankings. That is incredibly powerful. I mean, think about the power behind that, because you've written something on a platform that is now pushing it to another platform. You've written it on LinkedIn, it's pushing it to Google search. So people are going to be able to find you through Google search, through LinkedIn, your LinkedIn connections, and through LinkedIn search. Incredibly powerful. But the question is an article the same as a newsletter? I promise I'm going to get to that. But the other question is, should I just replicate my blog onto LinkedIn? I can't say yes to that. I have to say you should change the content because Google is also looking to index your blog. And so if you have unique content on your blog and unique content on LinkedIn, you're going to get two places in the rankings, your blog and LinkedIn. But if it's the same exact content in both places, that's considered duplicate content as far as Google sees it. And Google doesn't want to represent duplicate content in the search rankings, especially on the first page of the search rankings. So having duplicate content on your website, which has its own domain, whatever your domain is, and having it in a LinkedIn article is going to work against you because you're showing Google duplicate content. So you want to make those two things unique. Now think about what happens when you do that. You've got an article on your website. You've got a similar article that's just been rewritten, reworded on LinkedIn. You can claim, if you do things right, you can claim 2 spots in the search rankings. And imagine if you were to get 2 spots on the first page of search rankings. Now you've got your LinkedIn URL in your LinkedIn article and your website URL in your website article. Google search rankings has something called built-in diversity. Search results diversity, where they're not going to show multiple instances of your website on the first page. That is something that is relatively new, just the first couple of years. And this has only been around for a couple of years, but search ranking diversity will work against you having multiple places on the first page of Google. So how do you still get multiple pages on the first, or multiple places on the first page of Google? A LinkedIn article that's unique and educational, entertaining, that's going to rank. Your website, do things right, that's going to rank. A YouTube video, that's going to rank. All of those things come from different properties. And so because they come from different properties, you could claim 3 spots or more on the first page and start to dominate search for your topic. So that is a tangent that I kind of went off on, but I'm very inspired by it. So a LinkedIn article is very important. You should be creating these. If you've seen my video on this, you know that only 0.2% of LinkedIn users are creating articles. So this is a blue ocean for you in terms of a content domain and a type of content on LinkedIn that can bring customers and bring clients and prospects to you. So when you are using LinkedIn, consider you write posts, and these posts are short. They have a short shelf life. You write articles, blog type articles, and use LinkedIn articles for that. And that used to be called LinkedIn publishing. Sometimes I call it that, but use LinkedIn articles for that. Now, the question that Tammy asked is, are newsletters the same as articles? And the answer is yes. A newsletter is a LinkedIn article that people subscribe to, and they subscribe to your articles. So when you go to write your next LinkedIn article, you're going to see an option of creating a newsletter from the article. I have a full training on this inside of my YouTube channel. Just go to my YouTube channel and you'll find it. It's the title is something like how to create an eye-catching LinkedIn newsletter to attract clients. And if I can, I'll include a little annotation right here for that. Don't leave now. Come back, watch the rest of this, and then come back for that. I'll put that annotation here after this live is done. And so you create the newsletter inside of LinkedIn. What that's going to do is it's going to offer to your connections and your followers the opportunity to subscribe to your newsletter. Now, when you do that, you're going to create a newsletter with a name and a description. People are going to subscribe to it. In fact, somebody that's here with us right now, Eileen Ryan, she's in the audience right now because I see her checking in the chat. Eileen, and you can, Eileen, in the chat, let us know. You started your newsletter just very recently, and your subscribers have skyrocketed. I think, like, literally, you can just sit there and watch. You can just watch your subscribers go up. I'm going to interject. Sally Smith is an entrepreneur, wants to schedule a time to speak. Sally, I'm going to put if you're out there and watching this, Sally, the way to speak with me, very easy, is my schedule. I'll put it in chat for you. It's just my last name .me. http://prouty.me. I'll put that for you right there, Sally. And then I will finish. Here we go. So if you want to meet with me, it's http, my last name, prouty.me. Thank you, Sally, for that request. Very nice of you. So yeah, so Eileen has turned her articles into newsletters, and her subscriber base is skyrocketing. So she followed my strategy, and she's gotten 2,000 subscribers. So thank you, Eileen. Thanks for checking in with that. So here's the beauty of turning your articles into newsletters. First, not many people are doing articles to begin with. Hey, thank you so much. What a really nice comment. Thank you so much. Somebody just said, great comment, Chris, keep going. All right, I'll keep going. So your articles turned into newsletters. First of all, 0.2% of LinkedIn people are writing articles, right? So not many people at all. So you've got a blue ocean strategy right there in creating articles. All the benefits that I've already talked about. All of those benefits, including your being indexed in Google, showing up in Google search. Then when you transfer from just writing articles to having newsletters, your articles as newsletters, you're going to have subscribers from your followers and beyond. My LinkedIn newsletter, when I look at my subscribers, many of them are second level and third level connections. Well, can you imagine the power of having second level and third level connections on LinkedIn? Looking at my content, that gives me an entirely new pool of prospects for me to be reaching out to, because I can go through my subscribers, find my second and third level connections, make first level connections with them, and now I've got new prospects that have come to me by discovering me through my newsletter. And I'll make one final point on this, and as you can tell, this is something that I'm really excited about. When you create these newsletters, they live in the LinkedIn ecosystem for a long time. So they're findable not only in Google search, but also in LinkedIn search. So you've written an article, it's a newsletter, it got published out to your followers and your subscribers who might be second level connections, second and third level connections. It sits in the LinkedIn ecosystem. So if you've done a good job writing a great headline, having meaningful educational content that's entertaining and unique in some way, it is just going to keep surfacing and surfacing and surfacing. And as you can see in the chat, Eileen rapidly, I think it's just been about a week. She launched her first newsletter about a week ago. Please go find her on LinkedIn and subscribe to her newsletter. It's fabulous. She helps people get hired. So if you're unemployed and you're looking for employment, she's the one to be talking to. But her subscribers grew to 2,000. That means 2,000 people get pushed her articles when she publishes them as a newsletter, right? Okay, so it was 2 weeks ago. She corrects me. Thank you for that, Eileen. So in 2 weeks, she got 2,000 people to say, hey, I want to read more about what you do. So Tammy's question was, are newsletters the same as articles? Yes, newsletters are articles, but the key difference is newsletters get pushed out to subscribers. All right, back to the chat. Let's see. Again, thank you so much, Varmouth. I think Varmouth, it really means a lot to me, that comment. Thanks. Can you go back to the article and create them into newsletters? So I don't think you can, because once they've been published, they sit out there. So what you're going to want to do is start right now, turn your article or turn on your ability to create newsletters. And from there, every future article can be a newsletter. You get to choose when you're writing the article. You can choose to make it a newsletter, or you can choose to just have it as an article. There's a drop down top right for that, and that will allow you on all of your future ones. Now, one point that I will make, you must be a LinkedIn creator to do this. So what you're going to do is in LinkedIn, you're going to scroll down and you're going to find your ability to turn on creator mode. And again, I'm going to link that training on how to do that. Boom, right up here. After this, I'll put a little annotation right up there for you, so you can head right over to that training, become a LinkedIn creator, get access to newsletters straight away, and start sending these things out. One final point, I promise this is my last point on it. You've got to have, I think it's 100 followers before you're able to send these things out. So you want to make sure that you have that. More questions have come, right? Rajika, so we got that question answered. The Happy Millionaire Mind strategy for business. What's the best way to reach out to new connections? My target audience is small. Hold on one second. says, I'm getting an unstable connection to YouTube right now. So I'm just going to keep going and see if it says, please wait while we're reconnecting, but I'm not one to wait for anything. So let's see. All right, that's gone. So the Happy Millionaire Mind strategy for business says, what's the best way to reach out to new connections? My target audience are small and medium-sized owners. So the first thing you want to do is the first thing that I'm going to recommend for you to do is, if your audience is small and medium business owners, you want to find those people specifically on LinkedIn. So you want to use Boolean search queries to find these people on LinkedIn. I have a training on that. You can find that inside my YouTube playlists or in my YouTube channel. Just search for the word. You could just search Chris Prouty Boolean, and you'll find that training. Or I bet you if you do Boolean LinkedIn search, you'll find my training as well. Or just go to my channel and search around. I'll put another annotation right there for you. You want to do a Boolean search first, and you want to find your perfect prospects. You really want to hone in on who these perfect prospects are. The easiest way to do that Happy Millionaire Mind strategy for business is to look at your existing clients. What I want you to do is find the common characteristic among all of your existing clients. There is one, and you'll find it with specificity that common characteristic does not exist outside of your perfect client. You want to find the book they read, the podcast they listen to, the seminar that they go to, the thing they think, the thing they say. You want to find that common thread, and you want to use that inside of your Boolean search inside of LinkedIn to find these people. And then you want to be actively engaging with them. So the specific question is, what's the best way to reach out to new connections? Well, first, when you reach out to make a connection with them, we don't want to look robotic. So looking robotic means you're just going to click connect and you're not going to attach a note. Your conversion rate on getting new connections is going to be painfully low. We want to personalize everything that we do on LinkedIn because people are getting really sick of robots and automation. So let's personalize everything. You're going to reach out by hand. This is going to take you 10 minutes a day because LinkedIn only allows you to do about 10 a day before they start to squash you. So you're going to reach out to 10 of these people a day. And the first thing you're going to do is visit their profile and find something interesting about them to you, and make sure it's genuinely interesting to you. Then when you send them the connection request, you're going to address them by their name, and you're going to cite the thing that you found in their profile that's interesting to you. And it has to be interesting and inspiring to you. Otherwise, it's going to seem disingenuous when you comment on it. So, for example, I live here in Florida. I grew up in New England. If I were connecting with someone in Western Massachusetts, I'm probably going to know the town. I might cite something about that town. And when you do that, you make that personal connection. Plus, once you're connected with them, and your specific question is, what's the best way to reach out to them? Now that you're connected, you can start a conversation about that thing, whatever that thing was that interests you. And so you're not hitting them with a sales pitch straight away. You are coming at them from a genuine position of interest, caring, inspiration. And now you can start the conversation with them. And that conversation is naturally going to lead to more things. You have that conversation, no sales pitch. Don't ever try to pitch in Messenger on these things. Let the notion that you can pitch in Messenger go. You just can't. So get to know them a little bit. Maybe invite them to a 12-minute call. Say, hey, I've really enjoyed our conversation here. I take LinkedIn very seriously. I like to put the in social media. Would you be open to getting on a 12-minute call where we can introduce ourselves to each other? That's it. Your perfect clients are going to see the value in that, and I will address you as Happy Millionaire Mind strategy for business. I don't know what part of that is your first name or your last name, but Happy Millionaire. We'll start there. That's a nice first name, wouldn't it be? A Happy Millionaire. So Happy Millionaire. Once you start to do that, your perfect clients just go a step forward and ask to learn more about what you do. Very, very, very simple, very straightforward. Happy Millionaire says, followed that training. It is great. Thank you for the answer. This is very helpful. And all right, Nick, Happy Millionaire. Happy Millionaire Nick. That's how I will forever know you as. Let me see if there are any other questions as I look through this. No, that's all right. I understood what you were saying. Thanks for that clarification. Let's see if there are any other questions How can I get my, somebody says, how can I get my first client? What an exciting position to be in where you're looking to get your first client. So first, let me just acknowledge the energy and the excitement and maybe the overwhelm and the nervousness that you're feeling. And I invite everybody that's here watching this, on any platform, I invite you to remember what it was like to get your first client. I remember my first client that was 20, almost 22 years ago now. And my very first client was, I left my corporate, I had a corporate job. And I decided on the drive in to my corporate job, which was in Boston, on the drive in, my commute was about 2 hours long each way because of traffic. On my drive in one Friday morning, I was like, I have had it with this. And this was, at the dawn of the internet. So I was on my way in and I mapped it all out. I'm going to go in, I'm going to sit through the morning meeting. I had my laptop, I had a CD that I made. I was going to put it in my laptop and I was going to erase my laptop and hand it over and just be done. And that's what I did. I sat in that meeting and I erased my laptop during the meeting, just because that was the protocol in the business anyways. They always just erase laptops. So I did it on their behalf. There was no going back after that. Erased, closed it, handed it over to my manager. And I said, today will be my last day. And that was a Friday morning. And I went back to my loft in Leominster, Mass. And on Monday, the following Monday, I had my first client, which was Yankee Candle, which you might know as a big popular candle company up there in New England. And you can find the candles around the world. And so that was my very first client. I remember it. It was easy for me to get. It was they found me and there was already communication going on. Because I was doing some freelance stuff on the side. And then I said, this is it, starting the business. And they became my very, very, very first real client for me doing this. And I worked on some of their marketing initiatives. And I could probably go through and name I've worked with thousands of entrepreneurs, but I could probably name every single one because every single one is important to me and they will be for you. So how do you get your first client? The very, very first thing you need to do is identify who that perfect client is. Now, Nick and I were talking about this just a few minutes ago, the Happy Millionaire Nick, and it's identifying who your perfect client is. Now, you can't look at clients that you've had because you haven't had any. So you're going to need to spend some time really thinking about what are the common characteristics of the people you wish to serve. Here's how you do that. What inspires you the most? You have to do that sort of introspective thinking. What are the things that inspire you the most? And then you want to look for people that are also inspired by that thing, whatever that thing is. Then you want to ask yourself, what group of people could I talk to every day for 12, 16, 18 hours and never get tired of speaking to them? Because that's what you're going to have to do as a business owner, is once you start getting clients, you're going to have to talk to these people a lot for a long time, for many hours a day. The people who inspire me most are entrepreneurs, small business owners, people who are looking to start businesses. These are the people who inspire me the absolute most. And so when I chose to do what I do, which is I train entrepreneurs how to grow their businesses, I decided I could have trained anybody, but I decided it was going to be entrepreneurs because there is a spark in the entrepreneur that you don't see anywhere else. And that's the common thread that I look for, is that spark in the entrepreneur. See it, the Happy Millionaire is here with us today. You can just feel it in the words that Nick's writing, that there is a spark there. And Rajika is here with us. Eileen is here with us. Varmouth, you can just feel it when you're talking with these people. That's what's most inspiring to me. For you, it might be bicycle shop owners or pizzeria owners, or it could be realtors or mortgage brokers, could be therapists. Who are the people that you could talk to for 18 hours a day and never get tired of it? Because I'll tell you this, if you start serving people that don't inspire you, you're going to resent the time that you're going to have to spend speaking to them. And that's going to be the death of your business. So you have to be able to speak with people that you wake up in the morning 7 days a week wanting to talk to these people. The people that are in my programs, especially my flagship program, which is called Growth Galvanized, which I get to meet with this small group of elite people. We get to meet how many times? I mean, you're in that program. We meet like 5 times a week for coaching and things like that. And it's just messages after messages after messages with the most inspirational things. People send me screen captures of their analytics, of their YouTube analytics. I get screen captures of their bank accounts. If I weren't inspired to be speaking with these people, I would dread picking up my phone and seeing the messages come in. But instead, 7 days a week, I am just waiting for these messages to come in. And it's just the greatest thing in the world. So that's the first step towards getting your first client, is finding these people that inspire you the most. Sally, thank you so much for those kind words. You haven't, Sally, I'm speaking directly to you, Sally, right now. You have inspired me today with your kind words. Back to the question, how do I get my first client? So you found the people that you can speak with all the time. Never get tired of it. Next, you have to find a problem that you are able to solve for these people. And when you have that problem and you're able to solve it, then you have to determine, will these people exchange money with me to solve that problem? Every group of people has a problem that they wish they could solve. We, as entrepreneurs, cannot solve all of our problems. We just can't. We don't have the time. And we are specifically focused on the thing that we do best. So what problem did I have that I needed solved? Bookkeeping. I'm not inspired to do bookkeeping. I'm not inspired to send invoices and collect money and all of that stuff. So I have someone that solves that problem for me. They take care of all the bookkeeping. They take care of all the dollar signs. Every day, at the end of the day, I ask 2 questions. How much money came in? How much money went out? They solve the problem for me of having to do it all myself, right? So everybody has a problem. You have to figure out what that problem is that you can solve. So now you've got the people, you've got the problem, you've got the solution. You have to put all those 3 things together. LinkedIn is a great place to start doing that. Start writing content that talks about what the world would be like having that problem solved. Notice I said, talk about the transformation. Talk about what the world would be like. I didn't say sell. Don't try to pitch. Don't go out there and write things like, I'm looking for 10 pizza shop owners that want to blah, 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 blah. And that's not going to work. You're going to get the lowest quality clients that way. Instead, talk about the transformation. Talk about what it's like on the other side of working with you. What it's like working with you to get that problem solved, what their business life is like. When you do that, the people who are going to be your best clients are going to step forward and say, I want to work with you. That's how you get not only your first client, that's how you get your best clients. Because you're showing people what the transformation is like. And the people who want that transformation are absolutely going to step forward. And they're going to say they want to work with you. These are going to be your first clients, and they're going to be your best clients. And I will punctuate this by saying, when you go after only the best clients and you are selective about who you work with, you are going to rapidly accelerate the growth of your business. That was a very long answer for how do I get my first client, but that's how you do it. And that's how you rapidly grow a business. We're coming up on almost 29 minutes of live, and I have got to prep for a 1 o'clock meeting, which is coming up in an hour. I'm going to go through last call for questions. And I just want to say thank you so much for the group that joined today on all channels. Special shout out to Nick, the Happy Millionaire, and Sally Smith. Sally, thanks for being here. Sally, Sally had asked for my meeting link to have a quick meeting with me, and I popped that into the chat earlier. I hope you found that, and I would look forward to seeing you on my calendar. I'll put that in once again. Go to me, http://prouty.me. I will say this. While I shared some strategies with you today that are incredibly important, they might not be the most important for you right now. And one of the things that I do is discover strategies that work every single time. I've got about 27 additional LinkedIn strategies that are known and scientifically proven to bring more clients to businesses. If you jump on my calendar, the link's there in the chat, we can discover together the one strategy that you should be doing right now to get more clients. And we can do that in about 30 minutes on a call. So link is there in the chat if you want it. Otherwise, we're beyond 30 minutes. Thank you so much, you guys who spent half an hour with me today. I'm so very, very grateful. You are the people who inspire me the most. Okay, a little callback to what I talked about earlier. I'll be back here next Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, to answer more questions, and we'll hang out until the questions are done. All right. I think it's probably time for you guys to get back to work. All right. Thanks so much for being with me again today. Like and subscribe, all of that nonsense. You know what to do. I'll see you guys next week, 11:30 a.m. Eastern.